Hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're going to be looking at something kind of different. Usually we like to talk about fun stuff, but this is Daredevil,
Oh, yeah.
but not like the cool, flips and punches Daredevil. It's like Daredevil gets real and makes us have some tough questions.
Yeah, you're talking about Daredevil, born again, right? Like the whole, can you come back from doing something truly bad even if you thought it was for the right reasons kind of thing.
Exactly, like that's heavy stuff, and it's got me thinking. You know, so okay, we got to dive into this. So Daredevil, for anyone who needs a refresher, he's Matt Murdock. Blind lawyer by day, vigilante at night.
Yeah, fighting for justice in Hell's Kitchen. But like the guy has this crazy rule, right? No killing ever.
Yeah, and it's like a huge part of who he is, right? Tied into his Catholic faith, his whole like moral code. It's almost like that's his superpower more than the radar sense or the fighting skills. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. It's what sets him apart. It's what makes him Daredevil, that unwavering commitment even when everything around him is so messed up.
But then, episode 1, bam, hits us with this crazy twist. Daredevil tries to kill Bullseye.
Yeah, after Bullseye murders Foggy.
His best friend, I mean, talk about a punch to the gut, right? Like it just throws everything we thought we knew about him out the window.
It's like a complete 180 from everything Daredevil stands for. And yeah, it raises some seriously uncomfortable questions like, does grief, does revenge justify throwing away your deepest principles? I mean, where do you draw the line?
And it's so relatable, even without all the superhero stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, haven't we all had those moments where we're tempted to compromise what we believe in, even if it's not, life or death?
Yeah, for sure. Do the ends justify the means situations?
It's constant struggle.
And what's fascinating here is that this one act, Daredevil's choice, it throws everything into chaos, not just for him personally, but like his whole world. Remember how Kingpin, his arch nemesis, always taunted him about that no-kill rule?
Oh, yeah, totally. Vincent D'Onofrio was Kingpin. He's so good, right?
The best.
But yeah, Kingpin practically begged Daredevil to just end it knowing he never would. It was like this twisted mind game.
So now what? Does this give Daredevil an edge? Like, Kingpin totally underestimated him, didn't he?
Yeah, and it's like this huge power shift, right?
Yeah.
Daredevil's become unpredictable, dangerous in a way he never was before.
D'Onofrio himself even said, this is massive for both characters. Daredevil broke the rules, and now everything's different. Their whole messed up game has changed.
If you're as hooked on this as I am, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss part 2, where we're going to get even deeper into this. But before we go, this whole situation with Daredevil, it makes me wonder.
What that?
Well, the director said this attempted murder. Like, this is the thing that sets up Daredevil's whole arc for the series. So is this a redemption story? Can he even come back from this? Or is he, like, forever changed by this darkness?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's not just a superhero thing, right? We've all done stuff.
Yeah.
We regret stuff that makes that inner voice scream at us. So can we truly forgive ourselves? And is that even enough to move on?
It's heavy stuff, for sure. But that's what I love about the deep dive. Digging into these real complex topics.
Yeah, going beyond the surface, finding the deeper meaning, even in a story about a guy dressed as a devil.
Exactly. And that's where we're headed next. So stay tuned.
Daredevil, he's always been the symbol of righteousness, but now it's like he's tainted himself with the very thing he's fighting against.
It's almost Shakespearean, this whole internal struggle. It's like a morality play, but with a superhero costume.
Yeah, and he can't just pretend it didn't happen. Charlie Cox, the actor who plays him, he said it perfectly. He said, Daredevil will spend a lifetime trying to reconcile that moment.
Wow.
That guilt, that betrayal of everything he stood for, it's going to eat away at him.
Yeah, it's like he's become his own worst enemy in a way, right?
Yeah.
He's always had these external threats, Kingpin, Bullseye, all the bad guys. But now the biggest battle is happening inside his own head.
Exactly. It's this psychological thriller playing out within the superhero story. Can he live with what he did? Can he even be Daredevil anymore after crossing that line?
It makes you think, we all have those moments, those choices we regret, where we feel like we let ourselves down. Maybe not on a tried to kill a guy level, but still.
Right, but that's what's so powerful about these stories. They give us a safe place to explore those big, messy questions. Daredevil's struggle, it's like a mirror for our own internal conflicts.
And I think that's why this whole Born Again arc is resonating with so many people.
Yeah.
It's not just about punching bad guys anymore. It's about confronting that darkness within ourselves, the possibility of falling, and maybe even finding a way back up.
It's a reminder that even heroes are human. They're fallible, they make mistakes, they get hurt, they question their faith. And in those moments of vulnerability, that's where we find a connection, a shared humanity.
Absolutely. And if you're loving this deep dive into Daredevil's psyche, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us it really helps us keep making these episodes. But back to Daredevil, there's this idea of redemption that keeps coming up. What do you think that looks like for him? Does he have to hang up the mask, or can he somehow be Daredevil and also reconcile with what he did?
That's the big question, isn't it? Does redemption mean you have to atone for your sins by giving up the very thing that led you to sin in the first place, or can there be a different path?
And what about us, the viewers? Are we supposed to just forgive him because he's the hero, or do his actions have to have real consequences?
It makes you think about how we judge people in our own lives, too. When do we offer second chances? When do we draw the line? And how much are we willing to forgive?
It's like Daredevil's journey is making us look in the mirror and confront our own moral compass, our own capacity for understanding and forgiveness.
It's a challenging story for sure, but ultimately I think that's what makes it so compelling. It doesn't shy away from the darkness, but it also offers a glimmer of hope, a possibility of redemption.
Daredevil's a walking contradiction, right? The guy who wouldn't kill, who was so strict about his morals even when it hurt, and now he's the one who crossed the line.
It really throws everything we thought we knew about him into question, Is this a temporary thing driven by grief, or has he fundamentally changed? Maybe Daredevil.
Yeah.
Born Again isn't about rebirth, maybe it's about becoming someone totally new.
Yeah, and how does that even work? If his faith, his code was so central to who he was, can he even be a hero without it? Does he go all Punisher or what?
It makes you think about how we define a hero, doesn't it? Is it about following the rules perfectly, or is it about the intention, trying to do good even when we mess up?
Man, this deep dive has really gone to some unexpected places. I gotta say, if you're feeling this too, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like the video so you don't miss future episodes where we break down all sorts of crazy stuff. But getting back to Daredevil, it just occurred to me this whole situation is like a classic deal with the devil kind of thing.
Oh, I see what you mean. He made this dark choice, and now he has to deal with the consequences. It's like he bargained away a part of himself.
Exactly, and that's what makes the whole redemption thing so tricky. Does he have to undo it somehow? Or is it more about how he moves forward, how he's changed by what he did?
It's like those old myths, where the hero goes through some kind of trial by fire. They're never the same, but the question is, do they come out stronger, wiser? Daredevil's got his own internal fire to deal with now.
So what's the takeaway for us regular folks? The ones who aren't fighting ninjas and kingpins every day?
I think it's that none of us are immune to darkness. We all have those moments where we might compromise, where the right thing to do isn't so clear. Daredevil's struggle, it's on this huge superhero scale, but it's something we can all relate to in some way.
And maybe, just maybe, seeing him go through this gives us some ideas about how we can handle those tough choices.
Yeah.
It's not about being perfect all the time, but about understanding the consequences of what we do and trying to be better even when we make mistakes.
Yeah, and that's the mark of a great story, isn't it? When it stays with you, when it makes you think about your own life, even after it's over, Daredevil. Born Again is definitely doing that for me, and I'm really curious to see where it goes, both for him and for the audience.
I totally agree. And if this deep dive has got you thinking about your own choices, make sure to like this episode and subscribe for more conversations that dig below the surface. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and remember, even heroes stumble sometimes.